Good morning, everyone. My name is Veritas, and welcome back to Destiny. Now, today is Friday, which means that the Agent of Nine, the exotic merchant Xur, has decided to appear to us in a social space. This week, he is in the tower, over in Tower North, by the large door that has been closed since the launch of the game, that everyone's still trying to figure out what is behind this door. Some say it's all of the Destiny's story that's not in the game. Others say it's the content we always so much deserve. And I think it's just a door. So here's Xur, and this is his stock for today, August 12th. It is rather terrible. So this is the Tychonaut Exotic Titan helmet. These are the young Ahamkara's spine gauntlets for the Hunter. And this is the Starfire Protocol, an exotic chest piece for the Warlock. And this is the Super Good Advice, an exotic machine gun of interesting original origin. But let's go through these one by one, and I'll talk to you about their stat rolls and their perks, and you can decide for yourself if you want to ignore the fact that they're all very bad stat rolls, and get them for their purposes. So the Tychonaut here is 87% of the maximum possible roll. So your discipline and strength rolls here are 87% of what the total could be. So not great at all. But this helmet gives all rocket launchers the ability to have tracking, visible radar while zooming heavy weapons, and heavy ammo drops more often. So this is kind of like Ruin Wings specifically for rocket launchers, but instead of being gauntlets, they take up a helmet spot, and it's a hideous helmet, and no one uses it. I also think that this disables tracking on rocket launchers that have it, so like Yallarhorn, Truth, other legendary rocket launchers that have tracking, I think this actually disables it, but I'm not entirely sure if they fixed that or not. Moving into the young Ahamkara's spine, you have 91% of the maximum possible roll, 90% of the maximum possible roll, which means your discipline roll here is 90% of what it could be. I like these gauntlets for the gunslinger subclass, but these are not great rolls in terms of their perks or stat roll. This increases trip mine duration, and you also gain an additional trip mine grenade. The problem with this is they nerf trip mines into the ground, so they're kind of useless now, especially in Crucible. So I would not recommend picking these up, even though they do look cool, and the little spines on the arm right there do move while you're wearing them. Oh, bear in mind. Moving into the Starfire Protocol, this is the best perk roll, or stat roll rather, of the items this week. This is 91%. I think it maxes out at 93 when you fully level it. That being said, this is an awful chest piece in terms of use or taking up an exotic slot. There are much better choices than this one, which is kind of why this week is kind of useless, because even though this chest piece is 93%, it's still an exotic, and it takes up a slot from something that's actually more useful than this. So this Starfire Protocol chest piece pretty much just gives you an additional fusion grenade. This is just a fusion grenade. If you have solar grenades equipped, it doesn't give you an extra solar. It doesn't give you a fusion and a solar. It gives you an extra fusion if you have fusion grenades selected. So it's kind of terrible, honestly. I don't really see any point in using it. It looks okay, but it's kind of meh in terms of its usefulness. It does have heavy and special as opposed to sidearm and rocket launcher, so you do have a nice open selection here, but at the end of the day, it's kind of useless. I wouldn't recommend this chest piece at all. And then moving into the weapon he has for sale, this is the Super Good Advice, an exotic machine gun. I like this machine gun. It's fun. It's solar damage, has crowd control, and its exotic perk is Super Good Advice. Missed shots may be returned to the magazine. Landed shots may be replaced in the magazine from your reserves. So you can kind of just pull the trigger on this, and you never run out of ammo. I think it's like every 8 bullets. If you could just shoot a wall for like a minute and a half, and you'd not be out of ammo. I think it's like every 8 bullets takes a bullet or something. It's crazy, but it's really fun. People like to be assholes in the Crucible. With this weapon, they'll equip it, and then they'll just hold down the trigger and sit in a doorway, and they'll just be bullets coming through the doorway for a minute. And because they're not hitting anything, they don't count as bullets, and it's really trolly. It's also really good for like raids and stuff. I like it. It's a weapon that I enjoy using. So I'd pick this up if I were you. If you have the extra coins and you want it and you don't have it, as always, he has a legacy engram. This will decrypt into year 1 special weapons. Don't expect to get a Zen meteor out of this. If you're on PlayStation, don't expect to get like a hereafter sniper rifle or something like that out of this. If you're on Xbox, it will only decrypt into a year 1 weapon, which will max out at 170 light. This is 280, so don't expect anything good out of that. And it has the Emerald Coil and the Void Drive. These can be used on rare sparrows to upgrade them into legendary status with a green or purple like trail thing. Heavy ammo synthesis can be used while in combat to replenish your heavy ammo supply. They can also be traded into factions for reputation. 3 of coins can be used to get exotic engrams to drop from ultras or crucible matches. Use 1 at a time until you get 1 to drop. Don't use 5 at a time. And glass needles can be used to reroll perks and stats and things on exotic armors, but they're kind of expensive and not really worth it, so I don't usually recommend these to anybody. And the material exchange down here is awful exchange rate, so I wouldn't bother with it. But that's where he is. That's what he's got over by this mysterious door. But yeah, so I recommend nothing. Save your coins, save your moats, all that fun stuff. Save it for Rise of Iron. Save all your material for Rise of Iron. You never know. They changed how much stuff cost before. They might change it again. So I definitely save your nonsense for the next DLC. At this point, there's nothing he's selling that you need, unless you absolutely need something that he's selling. Then I would say buy it for collection's sake. But just save all your stuff for Rise of Iron. But that's gonna be it for me. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, so all that fun stuff. And until the next video, have a great day, everyone.